What if the story you tell yourself about your past, the one that defines your limits, what if it is simply inaccurate? Think about that for a moment. What if that single narrative, the one that tells you you're not good enough, that you're damaged, or that you're just the most unlucky person in the world, what if that story is the only thing standing between you and your potential? Leaders who have overcome incredible adversity, people like Oprah Winfrey, didn't just survive the past. They learned how to leverage it. They didn't change the facts of their history, but they fundamentally changed the meaning of those facts. And this is not a special gift reserved for a special few. It is a principle of personal growth. And I'm about to break down the principles that they used so that you can apply them to your own life. If you're ready to stop being a prisoner of your past, make sure you watch this video until the very end. So how does this story trap you? Well, it begins by building a mental prison. And the scary part is, you often don't even realize that you're the one that's holding the key to that prison cell. We all have an internal narrative. It's the compass that we use to navigate our lives. But here's the danger. For many, that story, especially if it's negative, becomes a self-imposed prison. And the greatest tragedy that we often fail to realize is that we are the ones that has the key. This prison is built with the stories that we repeat. Perhaps you believe, I'm just not good with finances because of a mistake you made years ago. Well, as a result, you avoid opportunities for growth because you've already accepted a story or a narrative inside your mind of failure. Or maybe a difficult breakup led you to the conclusion, I am unlovable, causing you to sabotage future relationships to prove that your belief is correct. These are not facts. They are interpretations that you have chosen to believe. You see, here's the truth. What you repeatedly tell yourself, you begin to believe. And what you believe, you begin to live. Your mind starts to filter your reality to find evidence that confirms your story. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy, but it's one that you have the power to interrupt. Your life is not a finished, published book. It is a manuscript. And every great author knows the real work happens during the editing process. If this idea of being trapped by a story resonates with you, let me know in the comments just which narrative that you are ready to challenge today. Now, if you need definitive proof that rewriting your story is possible, you need to hear this next part. Let's look at one of the most powerful examples of this principle in action. This is how you don't just escape the prison, but you turn it into a source of power. If you need proof that you can change your story, you only need to look at the life of Oprah Winfrey. Her early years were filled with poverty, neglect, and trauma. That story could have defined her for the rest of her life. It was a narrative that could have justifiably cast her as a victim, but Oprah made a powerful leadership decision. She chose to reframe her past not as a liability, but as an asset. She made the intentional choice to see everything that happened to her as something that happened for her. There's a clear distinction between those two sentences. In her words, the struggle of my life created empathy. That hardship gave her a unique ability to connect and add value to millions of people. Her struggles were not the source of her limitation. Instead, they became the foundation for her entire life's purpose. She took the same set of facts, the pain and the struggle, and she told a different, more empowering story. It was the story of a survivor, not a victim, of resilience, not ruin. That one shift in her narrative changed everything. It's the ultimate example of how changing your story changes your potential. Oprah's transformation is nothing short of inspiring. It's a process. In the next section, I'm going to give you the exact 3-step framework she used so you can apply it to your life starting today. So how do you actually begin this process? How do you become the editor of your own life story and follow in the footsteps of leaders like Oprah Winfrey? Well, it all starts with these 3 mindset shifts. First, you must shift from being a critic to a coach. It is time to fire your inner critic. That voice that condemns you for past mistakes serves no productive purpose for you at all. Instead, you must cultivate the voice of an inner coach. This means changing the questions you asked. Stop asking, "What's wrong with me?" and start asking a better question. What can I learn from this? A good leader would never berate a team member who is struggling. They would offer perspective, guidance, and grace. You must give yourself that same grace. The second shift is from prisoner to prospector. Your past is not a sentence. It is a classroom. It's time to stop being a prisoner of your regret and start being a prospector for the lessons it contains. It's time to get curious. A prospector sifts through the dirt to find the gold. Ask yourself empowering questions. What did that experience force me to learn? In what way did that hardship make me stronger or more compassionate? What value can I extract from that setback? When you hunt for the lesson instead of dwelling on the loss, your past stops being a weight that drags you down and becomes a series of stepping stones that lift you up. And the final crucial shift from past to present. Everything that happened in the past is over. It only has the power over you today that you give it. Think of it like driving a car. Your past is the rearview mirror, or at least what's in the rearview mirror. It's useful for a quick glance to see where you've come from, but if you stare at it, you will crash your today. Your power, your strength, your ability to lead yourself, it exists right here, in the present moment. You can't change yesterday, but you can take full ownership of today. These 3 shifts are your keys. Which one do you need to focus on the most right now? Let me know in the comments, and if you're ready to fully commit to this new chapter, stick with me for one more final thought. Now that you have the framework, the only thing left is to make a decision. Are you ready to become the leader of your own life? See, a lot of leaders thrive on leading others, but they're not real good at leading themselves. But if you're ready, I encourage you to subscribe and join this community of intentional growers. Remember, your past is not a fixed reality. It's a story, and you are the author of that story. For too long, you may have let other people, perhaps your inner critic, narrate that story for you. But you are the only one who gets to decide what it all means. You hold the pen. You get to choose if the story of your past is a tragedy that defines you or a leadership journey that forged you. Your future is not written for you. It's written by you. The question is, what will you write today?